I think the first thing I thought of when someone said the word desire, well, weirdly, when someone first said the word desire to me, I asked what was the difference between desire and God, which is weird, and I don't even know why I came up with that. But my first thought was cake, just like any food. I'm a hungry woman. I thought of food. I thought of cake, cookies, pizza, whatever. I guess sex would also be a normal one to think of, but mine was food. And it took me a really long time. I was working with someone early on in the beginning, first, talking about desire. And she asked me, what do you want? And I was really sick at the time. I had a chronic illness and, just was not doing well, didn't have a lot of energy. And I was like, I want to feel alive, or I want to live. And she was like, wow, is that all you want for yourself? And that blew me away. And what I think of now, desire is just, it's the force that I live by and am guided by. And desire is smarter than me. It gives me more of me. It's not something that's always within my preferences or what I think I want, but if I can follow it, it brings me back to me. And I really liked, there's this Kabbalist scholar, his name is Danny Matt, I heard a while ago, who said desire is the feminine face of God. One of my first ones, like, it's gross to be hungry, it's hotter to starve. Like,
Well,
Calvin Klein, 90s ad commercial type thing. And then, I mean, there's totally the one where it's like, I'll end up, if I go after everything I want, I'll end up broke, homeless, on the street, having sex with everyone, that kind of thing. There's just like, it's unacceptable. What if people say no? I don't want to get rejected. I don't want to try. No, it's better to just not want. And then I don't have to worry about that. And I don't have to I have a huge one with rejection. Didn't know what desire was, but I also knew if I said yes to things that were scary, it would somehow make me bigger. And that, like, not like I'd gain a bunch of weight, although obviously who doesn't have that? I mean, I was anorexic for most of my life, but it's like bigger, more raw, more exposed, just something, same thing, to like be kind of smaller and more contained and more manageable. Like Courtney said, that I definitely had that one. The other one that had me think of is just the one of like, I am a woman who notoriously, if you want something, I immediately want it because you're turned on about it and you're excited by it. And so then I had the reverse, which was like, I don't want anything because if I do, you'll take it from me because that's just how I am. And that was like the first thing I blurted out. I don't know why, which is funny because that's basically what we do now. But at the time, the woman I said it to, she was like, that's great. Okay, what does it look like? What do you want to do? What is it going to have on it? How are you going to do it? Who are you going to do it with? And I was like, I have no idea. Why are you asking me these questions? I just want this thing. And then I think she asked me, how do you like your coffee? And what do you want for lunch? And I had no idea. I couldn't connect to even the smallest thing of what was the like intricate detail of how I wanted something simple like eating. And so I realized, oh, I have to build these. It's kind of like what Courtney was saying earlier. The cake can actually totally change your life because if I don't know what I want to eat for lunch, then how can I possibly know these bigger things? And so it was this really funny process of like how, as a woman, you would think that you would know exactly what you want. And then I just had no idea what I wanted to eat for lunch. And did what I want to eat, I'd eat it. And then I'd be like, nope, that was what somebody else wanted at the table. And I just, whatever it was. And so it was this, in the beginning, almost like slow process to find the small things. And then it built and it built and it built. And I was able to actually plug into the things that are bigger than me and deeper than me that like drew me out and had me actually feel expressed and feel like I can thrive and like what I'm doing is growing me in these huge ways. But it started from creating these really small relationships and building on them. And the first thing that I think of is just like what you said, I'm here because of one woman's desire, Nicole Daedone, who founded One Taste. She wanted to be a free woman and she wanted to give women access to sexuality and tools for liberation and men. And I would not be here if it weren't for her. And I would not be here if it weren't for her fighting every single day to continue to give those tools no matter what. And I used to think like until I, became an owner in One Taste, I used to think like you look over your shoulder and someone else is going to figure that out. And it's like, no, it's every one of us women. If, I don't give encouragement and approval, if I don't stand as a woman, I am going to live by my desire and I want to be free and I'm going to be here, then who's going to do it? We say in the Eros Sutras, desires is co-arising, it's co-created. And so if I notice that something I'm doing is having something else just, draw up, it's always going to build and be bigger and benefit. And if it doesn't, it's probably not desire in my experience. Everything that I've gotten in terms of being able to express myself as a woman, being able to even learn who I am as a woman and be able to admit I have power, admit I want things like to run a company like this and actually bring something this powerful to women is because I was able to follow my desire. I am a phenomenal people pleaser. So in relationships, in friendships, and whatever it is. And so I'd say if I'm not following desire, I'm trying to please you. I'm trying to please you in sex. I'm trying to figure out what you want to eat. I'm trying to figure out all of these things. And you're not getting to know me. I'm not getting to know myself. And I'd say if I'm not feeding what I actually want, same thing as Vanessa was saying, I'm starving, I'm hungry. If I'm hungry, it doesn't feel that good to be around me, to be totally honest, even if you want to be. And if I can be, as a woman, courageous enough to say I have power, I know what I want, and I'm going to go after it, then it changes both of us. And I know that desire changes me to reveal who I am. And one of the hardest things in my experience in life, is to stay yourself in relationships. So that's kind of the only fighting chance I have. And I will not say that, if we're talking about relationships, it's not like your partner's necessarily going to like it all the time, but I just don't know how that doesn't create healthy, thriving, any kind of relationships. I've tried it every other way known to man. And I tend to find that I just have less of myself. I'm hungry. I get disconnected from, desire. And then I don't end up enjoying the relationship if I'm willing to admit that while I'm still trying to please everything. So it's it gives me access to me and has me feel full. And then that has me be generous in every other way.